Am I audible? All right. Thank you very much once again. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for making out the time to join this talk session. I am Dr. Oluwapelumi Allah, and I'll be your host for this evening on the talk on breastfeeding. Before we start, I would give us a very brief introduction about the organization that brought this event, that is Health Facts Nigeria. So quickly about Health Facts Nigeria. We're an online media company that provides health and wellness information for Nigerians and Africans primarily. And we do this by covering topics on diseases, lifestyle, nutrition, research, news, and more. So we create health quizzes, stories, and videos and other engaging content on our social media pages. And all these content that usually they're on health related issues. We aim to empower people with accurate and relevant health information to make informed decisions about their health and well-being. Our mission is very simple, and it is to address health-related misinformation by providing by providing accurate health and wellness information in the simplest form possible. So we do this by carrying out a number of activities. One of them is through blog posts that are available on our website www.healthfacts.ng. So these blog posts are usually in form of articles, news, updates, interviews with health experts, and health-related quizzes. Then we also have posts on our social media pages in form of videos, infographics that are easy to understand and contain educational content about health issues. Then we have Health Alerts, which is a periodic newsletter that updates our subscribers on trending health information. It also highlights recent articles that are released on the blog. So another events that we hold regularly is the Health Facts Live, which is holding now and you're a part of. It's a monthly event hosted on Zoom, during which health professionals are invited to speak on health-related topics, just like we have Dr. Moradeyo this evening speaking on breastfeeding. Participants get to ask questions. So previous editions of similar events to this are available on our YouTube channel. Last month, we had a talk on hepatitis. So we also hold medical outreaches to underserved communities around the country. And during these outreaches, we organize health talks. Attendees have free medical consultations, and then they get the benefit of having basic medical checkups. You can visit our website www.healthfacts.ng for more information and follow us on social media for more engagement. Thank you very much for your attention. So before we start now, I would be giving a very brief introduction of our guest speaker. That is Dr. Moradeyo. So Dr. Moradeyo is a practicing medical doctor at the University of Medical Sciences Teaching Hospital in Ondo State, where she's observing a compulsory 1 year housemanship after earning a medical degree from the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. She is the founder and administrator of a faith-based non-governmental organization that has reached over 3,000 youths and young adults in the last 5 years, encouraging them to awake from their slumber and thrive against all odds. She's currently known as the Godly Doctor on social media pages, where she is active as a public health enthusiast that helps with building a healthy and godly community. She has also served as a team lead in varying capacities ranging from religious to social and academic activities. Most importantly, Dr. Moradeyo is a minister of the gospel of Christ and of purity and decency. So thank you very much, Dr. Moradeyo, for joining us once again for this talk session. And we are so happy to have you.
Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, you are.
All right. Thank you very much. I would appreciate some level of feedback so I can know when I'm not clear or when I need to add up some stuff. All right, so first I want to appreciate the organization of this organization, those that organize this event. It's such a thoughtful one. Well done, and thank you for inviting me. So without wasting much of our time, I will dive into this seminar proper or webinar, as the case may be. So I've had been asked to speak about breastfeeding, but I particularly chose this closing the gap breastfeeding support for all because this year's World Breastfeeding Week was themed this particular theme, breastfeeding support for all, that is closing the gap around breastfeeding, and that was for first week of August this year. So moving on quickly, these are my objective. I'm going to ensure that we cover we know some of the terms in breastfeeding, why mothers should breastfeed, and why this woke generation, or the civilized age, would not choose any other means over breastfeeding. And then next slide, please. These are the basic terms. Next slide or so. All right, next slide. All right, food is the first enjoyment of life. So this is one reason why everybody should be aware that this is the point where I should say that everyone should be aware that for newborn, neonates, the only food they have, or the only food they should have, is breast milk, is breastfeeding. And so if we are saying that food is essential for life, what we are saying is breastfeeding is essential for life. And like I will always say, I've mentioned in some of my online videos that newborns are not young adults. They are not the ones that you can say, okay, if I'm eating rice, let me reduce the volume, or let me reduce the size and give to them. No, their systems are different. The way they have been wired are different. So the management, the treatment, the care for newborns, for neonates, they are entirely different from adults. So what is breastfeeding? Breastfeeding is just feeding the child with breast milk. This could be achieved by direct latching, putting the baby to the mother's breast, or by spoon feeding with breast milk. The most essential part is that the food that you are giving is a breast milk. Okay, so what is exclusive breastfeeding? I find the need to also put this slide because in my practice, I've met women that you ask questions around if they are practicing exclusive breastfeeding, and they go to say yes. And then when you ask them the content, what they are giving their babies, you hear different kind of things, then you know that not everyone actually understand what exclusive breastfeeding means. So exclusive breastfeeding means that you are giving the baby, the neonate, the infant, only breast milk with no other option, not even water. So the only thing that the baby is taking, not water, not herbal concoction, not any of those. The only thing the baby will be taking for the first 6 months of life is breast milk. That is exclusive breastfeeding. All right. Yes, you can move the slide. Thank you. So it is also advised that you breastfeed your baby about 8 to 12 times in a day, and on demand. So even if it's more than 12 times and the baby keeps asking for food, breast milk, then you give your baby the breast milk. That's breastfeeding. Optimal infant feeding. This is just telling us, and more like emphasis on the fact that exclusive is for 6 months, then complementary feeding can follow after that 6 months, and that you can start breastfeeding from the first 30 minutes of life. These are golden hour. The moment you give birth, the mother can start breastfeeding. In fact, mother is expected to start breastfeeding at that time. Next slide. So these are the 10 steps to successful breastfeeding. And I should also mention here that these 10 steps are not restricted to just audience, to just mothers. These steps, they were written or they were made for both health workers, nurses, doctors, both health workers and the mothers. So next slide. So this entails first, having a breast feeding policy for all member of staff, the training all healthcare staff about knowledge of these skills and how to, imagine that the nurse does not understand when a baby is breastfeeding well. So there are policies around this thing. There are steps to, okay, if we want mothers to be breastfeeding successfully, we need our health workers to know the right things, to know answers to the right questions. Imagine first time mom going to the nurse asking them that, how can I do this? How can I do that? What should I do? And the doctor nurse is saying that, I'm sorry, or even me, I don't know, or I've not given birth before, so I don't know how this is done. That would be a gross error. So these policies were put in place so that everybody can know what they are doing, and it's in a bid to give us a successful breastfeeding program by WHO. So inform the pregnant women and even women generally about benefit and management of breastfeeding. Next slide. It also help mother initiate. We've discussed this before. Within 30 minutes, show mother how to breastfeed, give newborn infants no food or drink. I mentioned this earlier, other than breast milk, unless medically indicated. I should also mention here that, we won't deny the fact that there are some conditions, there are things that could happen one way or the other, and for one reason or the other, the mother was not able to commence breastfeeding. At this point, please allow your doctor to make the best decision for you, because we still believe that the breast milk, breastfeeding is still the best option for the newborn. And you will get to agree with me along the line, because there are advantages, there are reasons why WHO or health organization across the world has seen this and have approved this. So practice rooming in, allow mother and baby to remain together 24 hours a day. Yes. Encourage breastfeeding on demand, give no artificial teeth or pacifier, foster the establishment of breastfeeding support group. Support group are also necessary. Yes, you can move this. Psychologically, some mothers need support group. Let us discuss how it feels like, especially first time moms, how it feels like. What do I do? When you see that you are not alone in the journey, sometimes just help the mother psychologically and emotionally, even into the practice of breastfeeding itself. So this slide is showing what breast milk composed of. So we can see that the breast milk, the content of the breast milk include water, protein, carbohydrate, various fat, and all of these things, vitamins and minerals. Most importantly, I want to mention that, as you can see here, the breast milk already contain water. So the breast milk already contain water. So you hear some mothers say stuff like which in the research is reasonable to them. So they say stuff like I've given this baby breast milk, so I'm giving water. The way we eat and drink water. Okay. But the truth is that the breast milk has sufficient water already. You don't have to give extra water in that first 6 months of life. The baby has sufficient water that is necessary, that is required for growth. Next slide. So this is just also saying the nutrient breakdown, just buttressing what I said earlier. Next slide. Yes, the water content of the human breast is 37%, and all of that, and that you do not need extra water. Next slide. Okay, now yes, this is colostrum. Colostrum is the first milk produced from a mother, and the colostrum is usually yellow or thickish in color, or light yellow most times. Sometimes it is clear, but most times, on most occasions, the colostrum is usually yellow. We've heard story where mothers will dispose the colostrum because they felt it was not looking like the usual whitish breast milk or the milky color breast milk in that sense, and that they just dispose it. The colostrum is very, very essential for the baby. As a matter of fact, it is the first immunization any mother can offer the baby. It contains immunoglobulins. It contains some some immune defense substances that could help build the immune system of the baby against infection and diseases, even so much more that you won't even need antibiotics if your baby is breastfeeding so well. Next slide. So this is also saying some of the things I've mentioned. Nutrients, helps the body, and some of that. Next slide. So the advantages of breastfeeding, essentially saying why mothers should breastfeed. Why mothers should breastfeed. So it is proven scientifically that woman breast milk is the best food for the human infant. So note my choice of word, woman breast milk, human infant. So I didn't say that cow milk is the best food for the human infant. So let cow milk go for cow infants and let human milk be for human infants. So that is the way it has been ordained. So let us not give cow birth to 3 months baby. No, no. There are these things, our forefathers, our parents, they might have done this and there was no implication or complication to it. But sometimes it's not even that there was no complication, it was that there was not enough research to understand that it was those practices that led to the morbidity, to the mortality, to the death that were occurring at that time. So some of these things, if it is preventable, let us prevent them. And some of one of the ways that you can prevent infection, sepsis for babies, is by giving them breast milk instead of the cow milk. In fact, I also met mother. You will hear me using some of my experiences to teach a lot because I feel they are practical. I've also heard mothers say stuff like she felt like pig milk was nutritious, and Nigerians, the way we have pig milk, like at that level, like pig milk, if you are taking pig, you are taking the best of it. But the pig milk now is not even all these in the level of now one or now two or for babies. No, this is the normal sachet pig milk for adults. So now causing diarrhea to the baby. And it's just simple. It is just because the intestine of the baby could not process that kind of food. This is the reason why we are saying give the appropriate milk to the baby. So breast milk is first immunization. I mentioned this earlier. It's really available, has the right temperature, is hygienic. I mean, you don't need to wash any plate, you don't need to prepare anything. Breast milk like direct, just fresh like that, hygienic, natural. It prevents allergic disorder. Next slide. Next. Okay. It protects us against several infection, helps in development. If you've heard stuff like they would have said something like breast milk usually help the brain of the baby. It's so true. It's so true. It's so true. So please do all in your capacity to do breastfeeding, like breastfeeding, and don't join that wokeness in this time of uh so that my brain will not sag and those all those myths, things that do not exist. So that my brain will not sag, so that this will not that and all of those things. Let us look at the implication and the consequences on the babies and let's act appropriately. It develop emotional bonding between the baby and the mother. Yes. And there are even advantages to the mother. There have been research to say that breastfeeding mother, they have low risk of having breast, ovarian cancer, endometrial cancer, to be very honest. So I don't know, you've heard it funnily in some funny interview that they would have said that husbands are encouraged to suck their breasts, their wife's breast. That's because of the same reason. So if you now have a right way, like a child breastfeeding, why won't you do that? Why won't you do that? I think even more than the advantages to the baby, it is very good even for the mother. Then it could also serve as there's something we call lactation amenorrhea. It will give you that period of 4 to 6 months it will give you that contraceptive effect. So pregnancy is not expected. Now, please know my choice of words. Pregnancy is not expected. It could happen for one reason or the other, but in most cases, in larger percentage, let me even say I can go as high as 90%. Pregnancies are not expected around that period. So it also helps the mother to return quickly to the preconception weight and shape. Then there's this sense of fulfillment, the sense of satisfaction that comes with breastfeeding, the bonding that it comes with. And it also gives some benefit to the family. It saves cost. Do you know the cost of food now? All this now one now two. Hey God, God help Nigeria. It's a cost of hospitalization from diseases, from infection, and all of that. Things that are preventable. If it is preventable, if it's something that we can reduce, let us try as much as possible. Next slide. This is also to the community. Next slide is just speaking about the fact that when it gives a natural and a national bond, and that's because the family is just the first stage. So if the family if the family is in good place, if the family is right, the nation will be right as a whole. So some of the children, some of the weak children that we have now that are misbehaving or that are health-wise not even in good place, might be because they were not breastfed, to be very honest. And we may even have some hoodlums and some children misbehaving around the town now because these people were not given the care and attention that was needed when they were young. So disadvantages of using breast milk, I would have mentioned it along the line when I was speaking about breastfeeding. So I'll just run through it. It give higher risk of contamination and infection using those bottles. The baby is more prone to diarrhea. That's 14 times. And diarrhea can kill. To be very honest, diarrhea as simple as sand. That's why job last two. Come on, my is can kill. So, and if it is avoidable, why not? If because of fashion or because of you keeping your body and all of that, you are predisposing your baby to that kind of risk. I don't know what to call that kind of person. So it can also reduces risk from death from respiratory disease. In fact, it helps your nipple, helps the baby, helps the breast as a whole. When the baby is not feeding well, a lot of things can start happening. Breast engorgement, breast mastitis, and all of that. Breast abscess, it can happen. Nipple confusion, reduction in breast milk production, lactation failure, all of this can happen. So when it is advised, next slide, it is advised that the mother feed the baby very well, not using bottles, not using bottle. It can also Using bottle feeding can also lead to malnutrition of teeth. Yeah, some of the teeth actually that will be scattered and would not be aligned with. That malalignment of the teeth could happen if the baby had been used to bottle feeding. So advisable rather to use breastfeeding instead of bottle feeding. Yes, next slide. So yeah, there are some absolute and relative contraindications, like when you won't breastfeed, when you are not expected to breastfeed. Classical galactosemia. So in this kind of way, it's a genetic disorder that that will make that makes the mother has excess of galactose, and people that have this kind of disorder, the issue is that they were not able to tolerate milk. So yes, some like they are lactose intolerance, they are this intolerance. So when that kind of thing is passed down onto the baby from breastfeeding, the baby too can start having diarrhea and all of that. So in that kind of case, you pause first and let's see if it is something that it is something that can be adjusted or something that can be treated even before. So someone that is lactose intolerant or someone that have this kind of condition should have presented at the hospital before delivery, so that all of this would have been sorted out. Like I said, breastfeeding is still the best option for your baby. So the time that it can be reasonable that you didn't breastfeed will be after we have exhausted every reasonable way. We found out that there are no other things to do. Then yes, everybody can say, oh, okay, she tried though, there was nothing else to do. Do you get? Their mothers is breast cancer. Now at this time, this is not even because of the breast cancer per se, but it is expected that people with breast cancer they are undergoing treatment. Now, Treatments such as chemotherapy, radiotherapy, hormonal replacement, these things can easily be is the word transferred now, transferred to the baby from breast milk. So all these radioactive substances from radiotherapy, you don't want to pass that to the baby. It could be cancerous sometimes. All this hormonal therapy, all this chemotherapy, you don't want to transfer that to the baby. So during that period of treatment, no, it is not advisable to breastfeed. Breast surgery. Apparently, a woman that has had bilateral mastectomy, there is no breast. Mastectomy is when the breast has been removed, both breasts. So there's no way such woman will breastfeed. Women or mothers on cytotoxic drugs similar to that breast cancer, severe psychosis. It's just so that the psychosis is a mental disorder. This is just in protection of the baby, not exactly because the breast milk has issues. So use of illicit drug, the same thing like breast cancer, cocaine, lithium, all of these things you can easily transfer it to the baby, and they are harsh substances. I can't imagine a baby having lithium in the body. They are harsh substances. They can't even sustain that. Confirmed or suspected Ebola disease. If a mother is suspected to have Ebola disease, you don't want to. Now, relative contraindication. Relative means that they are not exactly 100%. That there are things to consider. So when a mother comes down with HIV stroke AIDS, we still want the mother to breastfeed. The thing is early presentation. Let the mother present early before delivery. There are drugs, there are medications to be given such that the baby, the HIV would not be through is it vertical transmission now, will not be transferred to the baby via breast milk. So there are things to do to prevent this one. If the mother could present to the hospital, some mothers, maybe out of shame or something, I don't know, they would not want to present, but that lackadaisical attitude would lead to the baby being put to risk, because if the treatment has been commenced earlier, if there are many babies, there are many exposed baby or many babies of HIV/AIDS mothers that did not eventually have the infection, even with breast milk. So it is possible to have HIV/AIDS and still breastfeed your baby. The solution to that is present at the hospital. Let them give you the necessary drug. Mothers with active TB. This one is also relative. Active TB in general. Let us know, is the mother having the treatment? Is it not ongoing? At what stage it is, and all of that. These are things to consider, and some of these things. And then this breast abscess. It is also relative because it depends on the stage and the level. Breast abscess is just when there's pus inside the breast. It depends on the stage and the level. If it's still at a very mild stage, as a matter of fact, we see one of the solutions to breast abscess is even breastfeeding itself. So, but if it's at that stage where this is dangerous, this could be dangerous for the baby, then we'll say it's relative. The mother should not until the breast is treated, and that should not take so long. I mean, out of 6 months that you're expected to breastfeed your baby, that should not take so long. And then very sick mothers and baby, like I said, things happen, congenital disorders, the mother could be unconscious. Things happen that in first few days or months, the mother or the baby could not take breastfeeding as the case may be. So when they are sick, when the baby is sick or when the mother is sick, there's nothing anybody can do at this point. I mean, it's just relative. We can only hope that one of them or the two of them get better. Next slide. So I won't read this at all. So the breastfeeding support and the importance. This is just the 2024 breastfeeding week campaign, like I said, closing the gap. Is just trying to tell us to close the gap. Is why mothers are not breastfeeding their babies, why there's a gap, because there are some of the researches that have been done said that 820,000 mortalities can be prevented if we breastfeed, like across the world yearly. If every mother will breastfeed, we can prevent 820,000 lives. We can preserve them if only they breastfeed. But that they notice that there are some support that we can move on to the next slide. I'm already summarizing all of that. There are some support that the lactating mothers would need. Like if they have the support, perhaps it's because they've not been well supported, which are the reasons why some of them might have said breastfeeding was too much for them and they are not going to do that anymore. Some other claim out of experience that they deliver their, I mean, they already had 3 children and this is the fourth or this is the fifth. They know how to handle some of it. So the WHO and those health organizations notice that if there's a way we can provide support for these mothers, perhaps some of them will take up that role and do it well. So encourage breastfeeding mother, help with baby care. If they have more than 1 children, help them to take care of some of these children. Encourage lactation group. Next slide. Encourage lactation group. Train health workers to support mothers, not nurses, not medical doctors, not or some of the health practitioners that will be seeing mothers and start saying like, she want to call them, apologies to non-Yorubas. She want to call them, and all of that. All those mothers will be throwing jabs and insults just because a mother maybe could not lactate at the right time, or maybe for one reason or the other had issue with the breast and they are just insulting instead of encouraging. So these are the things that the campaign this year has been talking about. And then they also said that mother who are at risk in emergency or under, they should receive breastfeeding protection, breastfeeding support, urgent need if they need food. So if you want to breastfeed but there's no food, they are not even eating themselves. If they need food, let there be support for things like that. Next slide. So in conclusion, breast milk is the best food for your baby. It is a natural act. It's not something that you are completely ignorant of. Like I said, natural is natural, but it can be learned to be better. Like you can learn to be better at it. You can learn to be better at it, and it also comes with experience. Like I said, babies are encouraged to be exclusively breastfed for 6 months, and then complementary feeding with the breast milk for next 2 years, or as the person has strength. Then I'm saying that this will lead to maximizing benefit of breastfeeding to the baby, even to the mother, to the society at large. The danger of using bottle feeding are so enormous, like I've mentioned, the infection, the eventual implication on the community and all of that, and the things, the morbidity and the mortality, things that could have been prevented. So mothers and caregivers need active support for sustaining breastfeeding. The family, society, community, and networker can support every breastfeeding mother. So thank you very much for listening so far.
Thank you very much, Dr. Moradeyo, for the very exhaustive presentation on breastfeeding. And I must say that everyone that has attended or that will listen to this session much later will gain a lot, as I have gained a lot this evening. So just for me to reemphasize some important things that you've said, I just want to remind people that are listening that colostrum is a very important breast milk. It is the first one that is expressed, and it is important for immunization for the babies. So you would recall that one very alarming statistics that was released by the World Health Organization is that over 800,000 deaths can be prevented if people actually breastfeed their children. So giving your children breast milk, and not just ordinary breast milk, ensure that you breastfeed your baby the right way, exclusive breastfeeding, and avoid herbal concussion and the likes. And even to the mothers, you mentioned a number of advantages. One of them was that it is a form of contraceptive. That is, it can prevent pregnancy, it can prevent bleeding after delivery, and it saves money. It helps the nation. We understand that the country at this current state is bad. I mean, it's not very comfortable for a lot of people. And so for breastfeeding mothers, new mothers, you should save money by actually breastfeeding your child. So thank you once again, Dr. Moradeyo, for having us and for creating time to give us this very nice presentation. So it is time for us to ask questions. I recall at the beginning of the session, someone already dropped a question in the chat, but before we answer that question, we already have some questions prepared for now. We release the poll where people can register and send their questions. And then we also have questions that are ready for our guest speaker. So am I audible? Can you hear me? All right, so I'm back on. So I apologize for the network glitch. So yes, straight to the questions that we have for Dr. Moradeyo. So the first one I have here, what are the best ways to overcome common breastfeeding challenges like latching issues or nipple soreness? Dr. Moradeyo, are you still with us? Oh, okay. Let me correct that. All right. Can you please try to speak now?
Oh, all right. So the question you said, what are the, sorry, can you come again? You said, what are the best way to overcome? Please, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. The question was, what are the best way to overcome breastfeeding challenges, right?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. So, I would have preferred the person mention the challenge in particular, but I saw that okay, an example was cited, latching into and nipple soreness. The funny thing about this question is that the major answer to this particular question is from the etiology itself, like it's from the cause itself or the supposed cause. So one of the way to resolve some of these challenges is breastfeeding again. So if some of the majority of these challenges are due to improper or incorrect breastfeeding methods. So if this can be corrected, the soreness, the latching issue, even breast engorgement, breast mastitis, all of these things will be resolved with correct breastfeeding methods. And then also there are some, we like call it lifestyle modifications, like let the mother eat well, let the mother drink well, hydrate yourself, fluid, then wear free dresses, wear cotton, cotton bras and all of that. Just allow yourself to be comfortable as much as possible. But most importantly, even with the breast soreness, still breastfeed. That's a major way to actually prevent and resolve some of these challenges.
Thank you very much for your answer, Dr. Moradeyo. I'm sure many people would not have expected that as a response. So the solution, breast soreness or nipple soreness, is to keep breastfeeding. So another question I have here, and I believe you've actually answered it during the course of the presentation, but for the sake of emphasis, I'll ask again. Can I breastfeed if I have had breast surgery or breast cancer?
Okay. Quickly, like I mentioned in that from the presentation, you are not advised to do that because of the treatment modality that is involved in breast cancer. We don't want you to transfer some of the chemicals, some of the hormone therapy or the radioactive substances through breast milk to the baby. So it is not advisable.
All right, thank you again for your answer. So the third question I have here, what are the signs of a good latch? And how can I ensure my baby is getting enough milk?
Okay. How to ensure that, okay, well, where should I start from? Let me start from the first question. What are the signs of good latch? I wish I can share, but okay, let me just explain it. Some of the signs of good latch include that the positioning is very, very important. The way the mother carry the baby, then ensuring that the mouth is attached to the areola. I wish I have a, oh God. What can I do? Dr. Palumi,
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
I want to share you something now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I've done that on I've done that on I've done that on WhatsApp now. So there's a way we can share it. So now some
Oh,
of the signs of good latch include that the mouth of the baby is well opened, like open to the extent that it's covering the areola. The nipple is the one that is the common one that we all know, that one that is the pointed one that is coming out that the baby usually used to play. And when they want to bite, they usually bite. Hey, that's the nipple. But a sign of good latch is that the mouth of the baby is wide open and is attaching to the areola. Areola is the base. That dark area, that dark hyperpigmentation around the nipple, that's the areola. So how you know a good latch is that the baby's mouth is covering more than 3/4 of that areola, so that the upper 1/4 will be on the top. So you will know that majority the mouth of the baby is covering the areola. Okay, another way, thank you so much. So look at this picture. This picture would has done a good justice to it. So these are the way to know that your baby is latching so well. The mouth is wide open, is attached. See, that's the areola down there. So you can see that in this picture, you cannot even see the nipple at all. Yeah, you can't see the, so that it is such that the nipple is inside, it's completely inside the mouth, not even at the hard palate, at the soft one inside, which is because if this is done so well, it will prevent all those nipple crackles, nipple soreness, nipple injury, and all of that. Because sometimes it's because the nipple is not well positioned, is on the hard palate. That is why there are some ulcers and soreness. If it is on the soft palate, it's not expected that the person will be having pain. So um if the mouth can be well opened and like this, just this picture, like 3/4 of the areola being covered, then ensure that the chin of the baby is not so distant from the breast. Another of fact, if the chin can be touching the breast, yes, you will know that your baby is latching very well. Then just like this picture shows, you can see that the head is tilted backward. The head is tilted backward, so it will help the baby's breathing. The nose will be outside, it will help the baby's breathing, and then the mouth will be raised up so that as the milk is coming, is going down through the throat. Ensure that the baby's body is also close to the mother. The chest and the abdomen is close to the mother. When that is done, you can be so sure that the mouth is actually well positioned. Yeah, I think those ones we do. Ensure that the mouth cover 3/4 of the areola. Ensure that the head is tilted. Ensure that the chin is touching the breast. Ensure that the chest and the body is touching your own body as well. Ensure that the lips, the upper lips is opened up, and all of that. So if you're able to achieve all of this, you can be so sure that the baby is latching so well. The second part of, yes, we can take away this. The second part of the question says, um
how can I ensure my baby is getting enough breast milk?
getting enough milk. The way to ensure that your baby is getting enough milk is to give on demand and ensure good latching. So give on demand means that even more than the 8 to 12 times that has been recommended, give breast milk when your baby asks for it. Whenever the baby is, babies can be sleeping like this and they ask for breast milk. As many times as they ask, give, and ensure that they have a good latch, not that you are just breastfeeding anyhow, so the breast milk is not going inside. Then ultimately, the way to know is that you will see improvement. Babies grow so fast. Honestly, you will see improvement. You will see that tiny bean is changing, is the growth is there, the tummy is big, the cheeks are getting bigger and all of that. So those are the ways to get to understand, I mean, to ensure that your baby has a good latch and to monitor that the baby is feeding well.
Thank you very much. So dear mothers, when your baby is getting bigger and getting fatter and finer, then you can be sure that you're breastfeeding your baby well. So can I breastfeed if I have inverted nipples or flat nipples? That's another question, Dr. Moradeyo.
Okay. So for that question, I think the first thing we should deal with is knowing the cause of the inverted or the flat nipples. So I understand that some people naturally they were born that way, so it's congenital for some people to have flat and inverted nipple. However, if the cause of the flat nipple or inverted nipple, if they were not natural, please withhold breastfeeding of your baby. Get down to the hospital and know what is happening first. Now, if it is natural, if that was how you've always known yourself to be, even before breast the breast started becoming breast in the real sense of it, if that has been the way the breast has been structured. So I mean there are ways to go around it. Yes, the baby, yes, you can still breast to answer the question, yes, you can still breastfeed your baby, only that it will now be a bit difficult. So and there are ways to go around it. There's something we call Hoffman technique. What do you do in Hoffman technique? You use your either inverted or flat. You use your two thumb to press the the small nipple that you can see outside. Use the two thumb to press it. So pressing it down, it will allow the necessary milk to come out while your baby also suck. Then also want these people asking this question to understand that if you get a good description of a good latch, I explained to you that the baby is not latching on the nipple. So yes, your nipple is important, but it's not that important as you think, really. It's not the baby's mouth. The baby's mouth is not on the nipple, it's on the areola. Do you understand? So just put your hand around that your breast and help the baby around it. Then another way is you can also do some manual stimulation. So we know that the breast nipple, the little one that you can see outside there, we know that they are usually very sensitive. So try to permit me to use the word romance. Try to romance the head of the nipple that way. So it makes it harder and brings it out a bit. So just use your normal finger, your first finger, just touch around and stimulate it. It makes it harder and bring it out. Then I think another way what people can also do is to there's something yes, there are manual pumps. There are manual pumps too. That, like I said, importantly, like the breast milk is more important than even the bonding. Yeah. But if it is possible, the staying of the mother and the child together are very, very important as well. But if it is the breast milk that you can provide, you I mean, this is how you are created. You may not be able to do more than that if you've tried every other means. But there are also breast shield. There are breast shield that your matron or the doctors can provide for such people. And finally, there are surgeries. There are surgeries that could be done to correct such deformity. But don't forget, if that kind of thing happen, let us know the cause first before deciding if you want to breastfeed your baby or not. But there are ways around this. An inverted nipple, a flat nipple can breastfeed so well. Yeah.
Thank you for your answer, Dr. Moradeyo. So we still have a number of questions before we end the session this evening. So another question I have here: can I breastfeed if I am taking medications or have a medical condition like diabetes or thyroid issues?
Okay, for that question, I think yeah, telling us the condition makes sense, make it explanatory. So the thing is, diabetes and thyroid condition now, the mother can breastfeed. Any other condition, it depends. I don't know. It depends on the kind of medication, depend on the kind of condition, the pathophysiology, if it will affect the breast, if it will get to the breast milk. So it depends. So when there's an ongoing comorbidity, or there's a condition in the body, let the person present at the hospital, ask your doctor. Don't be afraid of speaking up. Speak up. Tell them what you are going through. This is it. Can I go ahead with it? These are the reasons why antenatals are encouraged. So when you go to antenatal, it's not just for you to go and learn how to sing. These are the questions you should ask. This is the condition I'm going through. Doctor, what do you think? Can I go ahead with this? So for thyroid and for diabetes, you would not have any issue breastfeeding your baby. For people with hypothyroidism that are taking levothyroxine, it does not easily cross into the breast milk. In fact, if it does, it's in low quantity. So, and research has not found it harmful to the baby. So we are safe with that. Even diabetes as well. So diabetes and thyroid condition, they can breastfeed their babies. If there are other conditions, or if you are on any other medications for any other condition, please consult your doctor before starting breastfeeding journey. All right.
Thank you, Dr. Moradeyo. So I want to appreciate you for bringing out something very important in from your response to that question, and is to emphasize the importance of antenatal care. So this talk is on breastfeeding, but then you are reminded that antenatal care is very important as an expectant mother. So you get to discuss with your doctor about everything you are going through basically. And so they will give you the best care for you and your coming baby. So another question I have here. How can I store and express breast milk safely?
How to okay. Okay, I know that yeah, probably this person asking this question could have been maybe from stress, or just want to fresh, just like some guys we prefer fresh food is okay. No, that's just by the way. So breast milk can be preserved. There is a rule of 4 for breast milk storage. So in room temperature, that means without any heat, without any temperature, like in the normal room, if you store the breast milk in a cup, it can only stay for 4 hours. Okay, it can only stay for 4 hours. If you put the breast milk in a glass or in a plastic bag or in a container, and you put in refrigerator, yes, and you put in a refrigerator, it can only stay for 4 days. It can only stay for 4 days. After 4 days, is no longer good. And then when you now keep, that's the end of the rule of 4s. So when you now keep in freezer, when you keep in freezer, well, research says it can stay as long as 6 months. But I don't know in Nigeria. I've not I don't know if anybody has been able to do that. But research says it can stay as long as 6 months in a freezer. So considering the state of electricity, I don't think it's encouraged that anybody or any mother would store breast milk up to that length of time. But yeah, you can put breast milk in fridge. You can for room temperature in 4 hours. It does not have to be always immediate. You can pump the breast, take the breast milk and save for afternoon food. Just look at the time, just strategically time it. I don't want it to be more than 4 hours if you are not putting it in fridge. Okay, and if you store in fridge and you want to give your baby, depending on the age of the baby, you can also warm it. There's a way to warm breast milk. Get your hot water inside another container, put the breast milk in its plastic container or in the glass, put it inside that hot water. I don't know if this explanation makes sense, but you already put hot water down, that breast milk inside a container. With the container, place it inside the hot water. It will warm, and you give your baby. Just check it if it's at the right temperature that won't hurt the baby, and you are good.
All right, thank you, Dr. Moradia. It's
Yeah.
almost time for us.
Yeah. Network is bad.
to end the session. How in this chat or in chat of this meeting, how can I increase milk supply? Hello, Dr. Moradeyo, are you still with us? All right, can you unmute now?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I didn't hear the question. I think the network failed at a point.
Oh, I asked, or someone asked at the beginning of the meeting that how can I increase my milk supply?
Okay.
Can you
Hello, I'm
hear
so
me?
sorry. Yes, I can. I mistakenly pressed that again. So how to increase your breast milk supply is eat well. It is whatever you are eating that you are processing that you are giving the baby. Eat very well. If you eat good food, the breast milk will be sufficient. It will come out very well. And then if you also again emphasizing the importance of antenatal again, if you also attend antenatal, they will teach you some of those things. Well, some of those lifestyle modification that will also help breast milk. Say stuff like drinking pap. It helps really. Drinking pap, drinking water, a lot of fluid also helping production of uh production of milk. So essentially it's more of eating well. When you eat well, you are able to provide more milk for your baby. But when you are starving, when the mother starves, the milk also reduced, kind of. When the mother starves, the milk also reduced. So yes, I think that's it essentially. More fluid, drink a lot of water, a lot of fluid containing food, and all of that. They are good way to help the breast produces more milk.
Thank you, Dr. Moradeyo. So it's been a very insightful session this evening, and I'm sure that everyone that's listening, that has joined the call, has learned a lot. Has learned a lot. So I just want to remind you that this event was brought to you by Health Facts Nigeria, an online health media organization that has the mission to correct health misinformation and improve your well-being as Nigerians and Africans at large. So this session will be available again on YouTube, so you can watch, you can share with your family and friends, so they can learn as much as you have. And then you can also ask your questions in the comment section of the YouTube channel, and they'll be responded to as early as possible. So thank you everyone for your time. Thank you, Dr. Moradio, for having us this evening. And it's been a very great good evening, everyone.
Thank you for having me.